Hey everybody, Ace Trainer Liam here and welcome to another Branched Evolution video. If you're not sure what Branched Evolution is, you can click on the annotation here to check out my first video on Branched Evolution where I explain it in its entirety. If you've got annotations switched off or you're watching on a mobile device, there will be a link in the description for you. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the final stage Branched Evolutions of Wurmple, which are Dustox and Beautifly. We're not going to focus on their middle stages, Cascoon and Silcoon respectively, because they're practically the same Pokemon. They've got the same classification, typing, ability, move pool, base stats, weaknesses, and resistances. In fact, the only difference I could find between these Pokemon is that Cascoon is 4 inches taller and also 3.4 pounds heavier. Anyway, to help us out today, we've got a very special guest.
Hey everybody, I'm EllieBlueFace. I'd like to say a big thank you to Liam for having me on his channel today. I can't wait to get started looking at the differences between these two Pokemon.
It's always lovely having you on board, Ellie. Now let's take a look at how Wurmple evolves into each of these Pokemon.
Wurmple will either evolve into Silcoon or Cascoon at level 7, depending on something called its personality value. This is a somewhat random number generated for each individual Pokemon that determines things like its gender, nature, as well as things like Unknown's letter and Spinder's spot pattern, and of course whether Wurmple becomes Silcoon or Cascoon.
If Wurmple evolves into Cascoon at level 7, at level 10 it'll evolve into Dustox. If Wurmple evolves into Silcoon at level 7, at level 10 it'll evolve into Beautifly. Let's have a look at what the Pokédex has to say about these two. Dustox is classified as the poison moth Pokemon. It's 3 feet 11 inches tall and weighs 69.7 pounds. Its Pokédex entry reads, Dustox is instinctively drawn to light. Swarms of this Pokemon are attracted by the bright lights of cities, where they wreak havoc by stripping the leaves off roadside trees for food. When Dustox flaps its wings, a fine dust is scattered all over. This dust is actually a powerful poison that will even make a pro wrestler sick. This Pokemon searches for food using its antenna-like radar.
As for Beautifly, it's known as the butterfly Pokemon. It's 3 foot and 3 inches tall and weighs 62.6 pounds. According to the Pokédex, Beautifly's favourite food is the sweet pollen of flowers. If you want to see this Pokemon, just leave a potted flower by an open window. Beautifly is sure to come looking for pollen. Beautifly has a long mouth like a coiled needle, which is very convenient when collecting pollen from flowers. This Pokemon rides the spring winds as it flits around gathering pollen.
If we look at their appearance, neither of them really resemble Wurmple, although Beautifly does have most of Wurmple's colours within the patterns of its wings. And what do we expect? Wurmple is the caterpillar/larval stage, and Beautifly and Dustox are the butterfly and moth stages. Looking at the shiny forms, shiny Beautifly doesn't really match up with Wurmple, whereas Dustox keeping its purple body does kind of suit shiny Wurmple that little bit more.
In terms of when to let your Wurmple evolve into Silcoon or Cascoon, just let it evolve at level 10, there's absolutely no benefit in not doing so.
Let's look at their typing. Dustox is a bug poison type, which makes it weak to fire, flying, psychic and rock, while resisting fighting, grass, poison, bug and fairy.
Beautifly hasn't been blessed with the best typing. It's a bug and flying type, which means it's weak to fire, flying, electric, ice and 4 times weak to rock, whilst resisting fighting, grass and bug with an immunity to ground type attacks.
Now let's check out the stats and abilities of these Pokemon. First off, Dustox is the bulkier of the two, but its stats are fairly average at best. But its special defense does come in pretty handy. Ability wise, it can have Shield Dust, which blocks the added effects of opponents' attacks, or its hidden ability Compound Eyes, which increases the accuracy of Dustox's moves. Personally, I take Shield Dust all day over Compound Eyes. What about Beautifly, Ellie?
Beautifly is a fantastic special attacker. Although it isn't particularly speedy, it can be quite fragile. Especially with its 4 times weakness to rock, stealth rock damage is really gonna hurt. Its primary ability is Swarm, which boosts Beautifly's bug type attacks when its health falls below 33%, and its hidden ability is Rivalry, which boosts its attack if faced with an enemy of the same gender, which, with a special attacker, it's kind of pointless, so you're better off sticking with Swarm.
So what do we think? Which do you guys prefer? Let us know in the comments below. Personally, I prefer Dustox. I like its cool, angular design. I like the slight extra bulk, along with its protection against extra effects. It makes it a really versatile Pokemon, even just for setting up. What about you, Ellie? Which do you prefer?
I think I prefer Dustox. I've been using a Dustox in my current playthrough, and she really has been an effective member of my team, although Beautifly is prettier. Thanks so much, Liam, for having me on the channel today. It's been loads of fun.
Thanks so much for watching this video, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to go and check out Ellie's channel. I definitely recommend checking out her Pokemon drawing videos where she takes requests and draws your favourite Pokemon, as well as her ongoing Alpha Sapphire Nuzlocke. While you're over there, make sure you subscribe to Ellie, and of course, if you've enjoyed this video, subscribe to me so you never miss a video like this. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.